As far as excuse me, defrauding patients. So she was found not guilty on those counts, right? So what was, I mean, there's no, number one, I guess it's probably it has to do with just the burden of proof, right? Because the prosecution has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she was conspiring to defraud them and then defrauding them based on the charge that we're talking about. So it seems like they just didn't have enough evidence in order to show that, because to me, those two, whether it's against the investors or against the patients, it seems very similar because it has to do with whether or not they have the product that they say they have, right? So to me, I had some questions beyond the burden of proof as to whether or not they had proved that, or whether or not there was enough evidence to show that.
Yeah, and this is kind of what I'm trying to square as well, right? Because a lot of the claims and a lot of the witnesses were like, I got a false positive diagnosis for HIV, right? Yeah. And so that caused me X amount of, and so I was defrauded, or I was, and I think that the level of attenuation, I think you can go down the attenuation chain and say, well, she probably did this, but I think that really none of the cases and none of the witnesses were false negatives, that they didn't catch an illness that then a patient died from or something like that. I guarantee you if that happened, I bet you the charges would have been changed. But because they were all false positives, I just don't think that the jury was really swayed that much harm really came to them, especially when they were looking day in, day out about billions of dollars of being built on the other end. I don't think that's right, but I that's kind of where I see.
If that's a fair point too. If that's the right legal standard, then I'd like to announce the start of my biotech company where I will test your blood, and the answer is always you have the disease every single time.
Prognosis negative
every single time. Yes, you have all the things. It's amazing. Please check for secondary confirmation.
I will not invest any money in you. I'm sorry.
Excellent.
Because so that's a very good point though, Mark, is that all of the invalid test results that they got back were all false positives, right? So somebody thought that she had cancer. Somebody thought that there was a woman that was pregnant that the blood test said that she had a miscarriage when she actually didn't. So I can see how if you don't get that verified by a doctor, then that can cause other problems as well, especially with the miscarriage. If you're like, well, I'm assuming I had a miscarriage, and so now I'm going to go
tequila to get over it.
Yeah. Let's have some cigarettes and some tequila and get over it, and whatever. Let's party or whatever. I can see how there would be issues like that, but it sounds like everyone, as soon as they got alerted that they had some sort of a test result, they were like, let me go to a doctor. Let me get this checked out. Oh, okay, that's actually false. This test is a load of crap. But also the fact that they said that they were using their own miracle machine, this Edison, right? This miracle machine that they were all up about, but then they were actually using the other industry competitors for these tests when they realized that all of these negative or false positive results were coming out. That was interesting to me that wasn't enough also.
Well, but who are they really defrauding at that point? If anything, really, they're kind of defrauding LabCorp, right? Because the patient is going in expecting a diagnosis. Yeah, maybe they want you to use their tools, but what they want is they want their blood to be analyzed. So as long as you're offering an actual analysis of their blood, regardless of how you get it, it seems like the damage of that fraud is minimal to the patient.